What's up, ladies and gentlemen? YouTube Stando TV here, keeping you guys in the know. If you're wondering where the news videos have been, well, everybody's still digesting E3. There's just not been a whole lot of E3 news and stuff. I mean, there's been plenty of E3 news. Excuse me. There's just not been a whole lot of interesting news worth talking about, except for people making a big stink about things that probably shouldn't really be made a big stink about and all that other stuff. This what you're watching now is actually Twitch footage that I captured on Batman a few months ago. Um, and this is the Arkham Origins. A lot of people are mad about the Arkham Knight. Well, PC version, and how that it's not optimized for PC. And one of the things that needs to be considered is a lot of people are mad at Rocksteady. Rocksteady pulled it from the Steam shelves. They have came out, and said, we're going to fix this and we're going to put it back on sale and make you guys happy. They did not handle the initial port of the game. It was delegated to a third-party developer that specializes in ports. That's just what they do. And I think one of the reasons that they do stuff like this is because, well, to be frank, like, I know it sucks, but PC consumers are only 20% of the market. Console, I mean, and don't get me wrong, that's a high end section of the market where you expect the better quality of games and things like that. But at the same time, um, it's just if 20 to 30% of your market's there, and the 70 or 80% on consoles, of course you want your main focus is going to be on the 70 or 80% because that's going to make or break you, not the 20 to 30%. And unfortunately, that's just the way business works. Um, and so there's no way to make everybody happy. You know what I mean? It's just one of those. But yet they're trying. So hats off to Rockstar for at least trying. Tech Gladiator has bought the game. He has test run the game. He is running an i5 with a 750 Ti, and he's getting no real big performance issues. I guess the main thing is a lot of folks say that the game should run at 60 frames per second, and it's running at 30 frames per second. And during some cinematic scenes, it kind of dips down a little bit lower. But is the game truly broken? I don't know. It seems to me that, like, if they didn't give you an option to play it in 60 frames per second without editing an INI file, then it was probably meant to be played in 30 frames per second. Most open world games on the console do run at 30 frames per second. That's just the nature of how these open world games are played. I understand both arguments, and I think Rocksteady understands that too, and that's why they're going to fix it. A lot of people say, well, maybe they should have waited, like Rockstar did, and work on the PC port themselves. Well, that's true, but then PC players would have had to wait for it 18 months later. Seriously, think about it. It was an 18-month difference between Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC and Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS3. So there's an 18-month difference there. So you guys would have had to wait for 18 minutes, or not 18 months, excuse me. So yeah, there's that. And then by then the hype would have been down because, let's say, Rockstar games only come out every 5 years. They don't do all. We've gotten an Arkham game almost every year except for last. I mean, they're 1 to 2 years apart. So I think that's the difference there. The hype train would have just been gone for Arkham Knight had it done that. What else going on? A lot of people complaining about Nintendo's press conference. Look, Nintendo I think realizes that the Wii U ship has sailed. They're not going to release the next. They're not going to keep dumping uh, money and into these big projects and release them solely on the Wii U, only to watch them fail. Um, so I think some of the big games that everybody's expecting, they're going to release in the Wii U. Like Zelda, there is going to be a Zelda Wii U, but I think it's also going to be on their next platform. And so I think that's where we're heading. I think the next step is for Nintendo to start talking about their next console. And I think that we are going to probably see that in the next year. And I think that's why Nintendo was kind of a big letdown for people at E3 this year. It's just, again, the nature of the beast. You don't want to keep putting money into something that somebody's not going to buy or purchase, or maybe not, and maybe it's not anybody's going to buy it, but not a substantial enough people are going to buy it and purchase it and things like that. So I think it's time to start talking about the next Nintendo project. Um, and then there's a lot of people that people on the internet are typically mad, um, and sometimes that does good things. For example, the whole Destiny thing, which you guys know how I feel about Destiny anyway. Apparently, you weren't going to be able to buy the Taken King or get the Taken King emote slash DLC stuff unless you bought the $80 collector's edition, which means they weren't going to shell it out, piece by piece. It was going to be this massive standalone uh, exclusive content for the collector's edition. Well, enough people bitched about it, saying, "Oh well, we're not going to buy all the shit that we already have just for that one piece of content on this game that didn't really deliver on a bunch of promises." And you know what? Good job there, community. I mean, voices heard. Now you're going to be able to get that $20 content on Destiny if you're still playing that game. Um, Undeniably, there's a lot of people still playing that game. I did not care for it, but that's my own personal opinion, and who cares? Uh, it's just one lonely fat guy, uh, guy's opinion. So it doesn't really matter what my opinion, whether I liked it or not. It's irrelevant. What is irrelevant is that you guys threatened to boycott and threatened not to purchase or repurchase all of the content for that game that you already own in order to get new content. And that was widely heard, and now that content's going to be released for $20. But I think everything comes down to why a lot of people on the internet have been preaching don't pre-order your games anymore, and that's because um, you don't have the buyer's remorse if you bought Destiny and it wasn't what you wanted. You don't have the buyer's remorse if you bought a broken copy of Arkham Knight on the PC, um, only to have it. Of course, it's going to be patched later and things like that. But like, I think it's on us, the consumer, to research our products a little bit more and let other people take the risk for us at certain times. And so, yeah, I would just say to you guys that this is a big leap forward for us. And overall, there's really not a whole lot of other big news coming out. Maybe, hopefully, the closer we get to GDC and things like that, maybe in August, and things will start picking up a little bit more. I'm going to start making some more of these vlog videos. Probably just keep you updated. Maybe some of them won't even be news related. They might just be how's Stando doing, and let's talk about that a little bit. How's Stando been doing? I have been contemplating on how important 365-day Twitch challenge is to people, because there have been times where I feel like I just need a break, but at the same time I don't want to let myself down, and even more importantly I don't want to let anybody else down. So I'm going to continue on the 365-day challenge as long as I can, and hopefully make it. I am going to be going on a vacation pretty soon. I'm looking forward to that because that's just time away from work. It's time away from all my real world stress problems. I'm going to take my PlayStation 4 and stream a little bit, but it's only going to be 1 hour a day. I don't have to worry about watching everybody, because I try to pop in as often as I can on everybody I follow at least once during the week. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, and then I'm all constantly working on the website and things like that, making sure people are getting promoted when I can, and it's just it does get stressful, and sometimes you need to just back off and be like, all right, I'm just not going to do it this week or whatever. So yeah, it's a weird thing. And another weird thing is, um, I'm not as big as Boogie 298, but I am uh, quite the large fellow, and I'm about 100 pounds overweight, and I, I'd like to focus on losing some of that weight. I feel completely exhausted all the time. Like I just do not have the energy to do normal. Even though I do the normal day to day stuff, sometimes I feel like, it's such a burden to do the normal day to day stuff, and just get out of bed sometimes, and I feel that lack of energy, and I feel it crossing over to the content that I'm trying to put out, and that's when you have a negative vibe around your content, it comes across that way to your audience. And so I need to work harder on getting myself back in shape, and getting in a better mood, so I am putting out better content and you guys are enjoying it more, especially the guys over at Twitch, because no offense to you people, folks who watch my YouTube videos, but my audience is just larger over on Twitch and more active. So that being said, I think now's a good time to sign out and quit rambling about. But I just wanted to touch base on what my opinions on the Arkham Knight thing is, my personal woes, all my feelings on Nintendo and the Destiny, and how the consumer's voice actually is getting a lot of attention and it matters, and that's a good thing. We probably won't see the full ramifications of that thing for another few years until you got to think, the things that we're bitching about are games that are imminent, or have just released or are imminent to release. So it's not going to affect the games that are coming out within the next year that are finished and they're in post production. What it is going to affect is those games that are in pre production or mid production. And that's 2 to 3 years out. So that's where we're going to see a lot of the ramifications of our voices being heard. And but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Just drop me a line in the comment section. Like the video if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe. And until next time, we will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.